So I figured it was about time I do my first actual video where you hear my voice. Hi, I'm the one that owns this Mustang. So the story behind this is a 1977 Ford Mustang. From what I know, it's a 3-owner, well technically 4-owner car. I'm the 4th owner of it. It is a car that was built in, I believe, their Michigan plant with the optional V8 in it. When the car was purchased by a second owner back in 1996, I believe it was, he had the engine removed and had this 302 small block put in it. He had this thing bored over 30.03. So it is technically a Ford 306 now. It was rebuilt back in 1997. Put in the car back in 1997. The car was, I think, daily driven from 97 all the way up till, 97 till 2013. The guy's wife, I believe, the story was his wife had gotten cancer, so he was no longer able to drive it every day anymore. He ended up actually having to sell it in the condition that it was in. I bought this car non-running. I've gotten this car to run. Sadly, the flex plate is damaged. As seen right here, it is severely damaged. And the car runs great when it's running. It is a 1969 Ford 302 block with 1971 Ford Mustang cylinder heads off of a Mach 1. It has I don't know the intake manifold, but I know that it is a aftermarket intake manifold. It has, or at least it's a different Ford manifold. It is a 4-barrel manifold. I have the old 2-barrel manifold. I have a Holley 4-barrel 600 CFM Street Warrior that goes on it right there. The car is currently not running, but it originally had a bad leak with the fuel system. Replaced the fuel pump, fuel line, the rubber hoses, replaced the gas tank, the fuel sending unit. It started working properly. I'm going to go ahead and also continue to redo that, do some more work to it. The engine was running until a while ago when I started working on the starter. When I took the starter off, I realized that my flex plate was heavily damaged. So I've got the flex plate off, got the torque converter off. I know that I damaged my transmission, but I want to learn how to work on transmissions, so it's a good place to start. It is originally a car that I think produced 100 and something horsepower on a V8. It was not a very powerful car. It originally is a V8 with a nice red final interior that was a Cobra exclusive interior. It has like I said, Ford 306 since it's been bored over .03 matched with a C4 3-speed automatic transmission. I've got a power brake booster to replace that old one since it is bad. I'm going to also send that off to get rebuilt and eventually have it rebuilt. I've done all the work to this car myself. This car is going to be eventually given to my mother. It is currently being restored by me myself. It's been a dream to eventually have a Ford Mustang, and I wanted to have one that was a classic one. And then I decided buy one the same year that my mother was born, restore it, gift it to her. So I got a 77 Ford Mustang that I'm currently in the process of restoring for obvious reasons. And it's going to be gifted to her. This car, the goal is to have it producing between, I think it's 250 and 400 horsepower. And that is naturally aspirated, that's the goal. I'm not going to have the engine back in it till the car's completely done. So once the engine's done, I'm going to set the engine on a custom stand I'm going to build for it. A wood stand, make it to where it won't damage anything, wrap it up, make sure no air's going to get into it. I've got some place that screw in, thread in, block everything. Then I'm going to pull the transmission out, work on the transmission, only working on one part at a time. I'm going to eventually go and remove the exhaust because I found a set of headers that will actually work with this, because the exhaust came real close to the steering right over there, because the steering knuckle or steering column came real close to it being right there. And the manifold, the old manifold, is broken, so I need to go ahead and replace the exhaust. I figured time to switch to headers. It's got a Lunati Bracket Master 2 cam in it. It's a hydraulic flat topic cam. It was a kit, so it's got the lifters too. I'm considering switching out for possibly a bare bones, depending on the condition that the cam is in. I'm buying a kit that comes with the cam and gasket bearings. I mean, the cam bearings, the crankshaft bearings, and all the gaskets. So I'm going to go ahead and redo all that. Anything that's damaged, anything that needs to be worked on by a machine shop, have that done. It's got sealed power. Let me think. It was sealed power pistons. And from what I can tell, none of the valves are damaged. None of the pistons are damaged. And the goal is to have this be what I want it to be, one of the best looking Mustang 2s I've ever seen. From what I know, I'm one of only 2 people in my town that I believe actually have one. And right now I'm working on that slowly. It's got new tires on it. It has, new tires. It's got a new gas tank, new fuel sending unit, new fuel line, fuel system. It's got a new radiator for it, new carburetor, new alternator, new starter. I've got both the original and I've got a new distributor for it. And I'm just slowly working on it over time. Figured it was time to actually do a video where you hear me talk about the car. And the goal is to have this be the car that I always wanted it to be, a powerful Mustang that's a fun street vehicle, that's not the worst vehicle. And I got a Holley 600 CFN. Carburetor. I got a Duralast alternator, Duralast distributor, diehard battery. This is all relatively new parts. They're dirty from me putting them in. At least that's still clean, but that's dirty from me putting it in. That's dirty from me handling it. But I've got to work on, tomorrow I'm going to put it on the stand. I'm going to work on removing the cylinder heads. If any work needs to be done to the cylinder heads, get that work done. If it's something I can do, I'll do it. If it's something a machine shop has to do, I'll have a machine shop do it. I don't believe I'll have to put this in a machine shop, but I do not know yet. I know I'm going to have to go ahead and replace the power steering on it. Power steering pump went bad. It was leaking transmission fluid towards the end, and the line actually broke when I was trying to loosen it and pull it off. So I figured time to go ahead and replace the power steering line, replace the power steering pump. That went bad. The harmonic balancer I might end up replacing. The fan is in good condition. The pulleys are in good condition. And it's going to be a lot of work, but there's going to be more videos to come. And when my garage finally gets built, I'll actually have a solar setup out there for lights. Just enough power to power 2 shop lights, and I'll be doing live streams possibly on here. And I know I'll be doing some live streams on TikTok. But it's been a process. This vehicle, I've never done nothing to cars. I've never worked on cars. This is my first project car. And I've been doing a lot to it. Done a lot of work to it so far. Learned a lot from working on it. And I got a lot more to learn working on it.